Hello, hello. Another edition of Talkin Dodgers, your number one fan podcast for the Dodgers. Really quick, if you are a returning listener, returning watcher, you must like what you've been hearing. So go ahead and click that thumbs up, that subscribe, that like button. Tell your friends about us. Go over to that Patreon page, patreon.com/rotyourbrainmedia. Help contribute to the show. Help us get a cup of coffee, keep the lights on, pay for parking, that kind of stuff. Aaron's not going to be able to join us in this episode. He's got some work stuff going on. He will be missed. Really fast, don't forget to check out Mass Murder Machine, which is his band. They just did a re-release, remaster drop.
Nice.
Max is going to provide a download link.
Yep.
So check it out. It is some good metal stuff. We got a jam-packed episode, so we're going to try to run through this as quick as possible. We're going to be, a quick recap of the last two series with the Dodgers. They played the Cards, they played the Giants. Some good, exciting stuff happened there. The pitching was there, the offense was there. Really exciting stuff. We're going to talk about Walker Buehler a little bit, and then we're going to, talk about Mookie and his offense, which is out of control, and we're also going to preview the upcoming series. But before we jump into that, Max, how have you been doing? How was your weekend? What did you do? Go.
Go. No, it was cool. My daughter's turning 9 next week, so we've been doing, birthday kind of activities. We were at Disney for 2 days earlier in this week. It's also spring break, so you know how that goes with Disney. It's,
Yep.
One of the most wonderful places on the planet, but you feel it when you come home.
Yes, you do.
In the wallet and in your legs, especially with these kids, man. They don't want to walk. You got to put them on your shoulder. You got to push them in carts and crap.
Yeah.
So it's an ordeal.
It is definitely an ordeal. But as long as the kids have fun, I guess that works.
Oh,
for
no.
us, right?
I mean, you do have fun. I saw that water thing they do at California Adventures. What is it? Colorful show, whatever it is.
Sure.
That was pretty amazing. We saw it like at 10 p.m. It was a little chilly, but it was cool. And then, and talk about the Yankees, man, sweeping the Astros to open the season. It was a great weekend.
Right.
In that sense, Soto looks phenomenal. I know you don't like the guy. I don't know why. he's an amazing hitter. Watching his at bats is
it's
really
more his
impressive.
attitude that I don't like. It's his cockiness when he's at bat.
If you got called up to the show at 19, I think you're gonna have some cockiness, man. So
yeah, that makes sense. The Dodgers dealt with Puig when Puig came up. He was young.
Yeah,
and he had his cockiness stuff going on, which is
It's very rare to find an athlete who's amazing and not be cocky.
The arrogance, I think, has to be there in order to be.
There's a level to that. It's like boxers, right? You have to almost feel like you're indestructible to not lose. You know what I mean? It's part of the psyche.
Yeah.
It's all good.
All right, let's jump into the Dodgers real quick. So let's talk about the last two series. The Dodgers, they took 3 out of 4 from the Cards, and then they swept the Giants, which is a hip hip hooray for us. The pitching has been out of control. Max, I don't know if you have a stat that you could throw up there, but can you give me an idea of how many earned runs the Dodgers starting rotation has given up in the last 2 series?
So in the Cardinals series, you're talking about some ridiculous numbers. So let's just go overall: 37 innings, a 2.68 ERA. The whip is what's really impressive, 0.84. And the Cardinals, they have a respectable lineup. There's some good hitters on there, and they manhandled them. They averaged 10.5 Ks per 9 inning.
Jeez.
Highlighted by Bobby Miller's 11 strikeouts.
Yeah, we got to give him some props.
That was pretty impressive.
Bobby Miller,
and that's just the Cardinal series.
The way that Bobby Miller pitched, I feel like that is a sign of something spectacular to come from this kid, because he had 11 strikeouts. He went six innings.
6 innings. Yeah.
6 innings. He looked dominant through the entire time. And then the times when he got into trouble, it was the pitcher that I was hoping for, because I feel like he pitches to contact a lot, but when he gets into trouble, he relies on his strikeouts. And we weren't really seeing it too much during spring. He did have one start, I think it was in Korea, that I think he actually showed some dominance, but it was against like the lower tier players, so it's kind of hard to judge off of. But this game, he made a lot of those hitters on the Cardinals look ridiculous, and that was very exciting to see.
Yeah, maybe it's one of those things where they want them to, because strikeout pitchers end up throwing a lot of pitches, so when you're pitching the contact, you kind of trying to conserve, the pitches, and he had 93 pitches thrown.
Yeah,
that
he
game.
He pitched like a veteran.
Innings, yeah,
he was pitching like a veteran, which was awesome. And then,
Yamamoto had a nice bounce back.
Yeah, Yamamoto did. What is the stats on the Yamamoto really quick? 5 Ks, 5 innings, no earned runs. Nice.
I mean, you can't complain about that. And a .4 whip.
Nice. So you have Bobby Miller, Yamamoto, and then what was Glasnow? Glasnow, I think, gave up 2 runs, right?
Glasnow gave up 1 run. So he had 6 innings, 5 Ks, 1.5 ERA. He's pitching like, he's currently the ace of the staff.
That dude
he's doing what he's doing.
That dude is so tall. It's insane on how tall he is. It's ridiculous. But yeah, Glasnow looked great. Yamamoto looked great. And then that game, there was also a a rain delay. So he only pitched, I think he pitched 2 innings, maybe 3 innings, then the rain delay, and then I think he came back and pitched 2 more. I could be wrong. I think he only went, it was only 5 innings.
Yeah, only 5 innings.
Gavin Stone looked great in that game. The thing that's so good about this rotation right now is that you got the veteran, that's really just the veteran right now, which is in Glasnow. And then Paxton, because Paxton did okay. He did have 5 walks when he came in against the Giants. It was 5 walks and 5 strikeouts. We'll talk about him in a little bit. But you got the younger guys behind Glasnow, which is Bobby Miller, Yamamoto, even though like he's got that ridiculous contract. Yamamoto is 24, 25 years old.
25, yeah.
25. And then you've got Gavin Stone, which they are pitching really like they're pitching like veterans. And it was exciting to see. I know we keep saying small sample size because, the season just started, but they looked ridiculous in the Cardinal series and then also the Giants series as well. It was pretty awesome. Let's talk about the offense. So the offense led by Mookie Betts. And this is also something that's pretty cool is that you've got Mookie Betts, who's basically lighting the league on fire right now. What is his, I got it pulled up right now. Mookie's batting .485. He's got 5 home runs, 11 RBIs, a stolen base. His OPS is 1.686 in 33 at-bats.
Yeah, that's a hot start.
That is the hot start. That is the hot start. So if we go off of the big 3, you've got that, and then you've got Freddie Freeman, who I believe, do you have Freeman's stats?
Sure.
You pulled that up really fast. I didn't pull his.
Yeah, and I know you had asked also for if Betts maintained this pace.
Yeah, what would it be?
Ridiculous numbers it would be. So right now, Freddie Freeman's batting .375, 1 home run, 7 RBIs, a 1.031 OPS, which is ridiculous as well.
Right.
But Betts' projection would be, this is just nuts, 83 home runs, 183 RBIs, 17 stolen bases, and a WAR of 23.3, which is unrealistic. I mean, the highest WAR was Babe Ruth at like 14.
Wait, how many home runs would he have at the end of the year?
83.
83.
And he would be drug tested every other day.
As he should be. It's insane. Like when he's not being fooled at all when he's up there. And he's getting like good hard contact every single time. It's incredible and how good he is right now.
It's a reminder how good he's extremely talented.
Yeah.
Like when he goes on these tears, it's like there's very few guys who can like light it up like this. And when he gets hot, he's hot,
Yeah. So you got Betts, who's on fire. Freddie Freeman, what is his stats?
Oh, he's batting .375, like 1 homer and 7 RBI.
Right. So let's talk about those two sandwiching Ohtani right now. So Ohtani
just starting to pick it up himself.
Yeah, but it's really been the Mookie and Freddie Freeman show on the top 3, where it's basically Mookie gets on Bates. Ohtani either strikes out, hits into a double play, something not really productive. And
Hernandez has been really good too.
Oh, we're going to talk about Teoscar. Teoscar, that's my boy right now. And he was getting some crap on some other podcasts I was listening to where they were talking about how he can't maintain whatever stat he's got right now because he's not hitting for average. Well, it's like, dude, the guy's got, what does he have, 4 home runs, 5 home runs?
4 home runs, 10 RBIs. He's batting .257. What do they want from a guy who they're analytically telling to just swing for the fences? Like those days of high batting average, those days are gone. Certain players, they're keyholed into being a specific type. They want him uppercut swing, hit home runs and RBIs, and they're happy with that.
They should be happy with that.
What's the other one? Max Muncy, same thing. Drive them in, hit home runs. The average, so what?
Yeah,
There's other guys for that.
But I think Muncy's on base percentage is better because Muncy does strike out, but Muncy also does get a lot of walks, which I don't think Teoscar does get a lot of walks. I think it's all or nothing with him.
So far, Muncy has 4 walks. Teoscar has 3. He's been okay.
Okay.
They shouldn't. I don't know who was complaining about the guy, but right now, I'm sure the Dodger front office is not mad at him. I mean, he has 15 strikeouts. Muncy has 16. They're similar in that sense. Muncy will walk more, but right now they only care about home runs and RBIs from those guys.
Right.
They'll be all right with the rest.
I think so. Let's get back to the 3. So Mookie started obviously he's on another world right now. Freddie Freeman's on fire. And then you got Ohtani who's kind of slowly kind of finding his footing. And if you've been watching these games, it's kind of like you can see how, and I know it's kind of like, it's a little weird to say this because they're playing baseball. So there's really not a lot of like, hey, like, you know, you don't really need to get to know each other playing baseball. You hit the ball, you catch the ball, you throw the ball. But it seems like the glue that was already Betts and Freeman is there, and Ohtani's just trying to figure out how to be a part of what they already had going on the last 2 seasons. He finally had some good. I mean, a lot of the at bats. I think Ohtani's been pressing a lot. I think he's been trying to prove that he's worth $700 million. But the last game against the Cards. I'm sorry, against the Giants, he actually had some really good at-bats, which was actually kind of exciting to see. He didn't look like he was getting fooled a lot. Obviously, he hit the home run, which was a bomb into right center. You know, there's a lot of good stuff there to be seen, which is kind of awesome with the offense. And then you go down, Will Smith has started on fire, which is good. We talked about how we were a little worried about him. I think a 10-year, $140 million contract.
Something like that,
Yeah. Kind of solidifies you as being part of the pieces moving forward. So maybe that's kind of eased up some of the stress on him. He's looking really good, having a lot of really good at-bats. He's not hitting bombs, but he's getting good wood on the bat, and he's getting a lot of singles, getting the RBIs. Muncy, clutch homer with that 2-run blast against the Giants, which was awesome to see. Let me play some stuff here while we're talking about the offense. Might as well. Teoscar's got... He's hitting bombs. The offense is there. The stuff to worry about right now is the bottom part of the lineup. With Lux is not hitting, Outman's not hitting,
Hayward
is not hitting. But what's actually kind of crazy is Rojas, who is not known for hitting bombs, already has 2 home runs. How many did he have last season? 5, 4, and he's already got 2. I think he's trying to make an early case for, hey, let's just keep Mookie at second base and let me play some shortstop.
Oh, I know you already had your take on, you would have passed on Lux already. You would have given up on him, moved him on, but
I would have just to not mess with Betts.
He's so young though. He's still.
But having said that, Betts has looked pretty darn good at shortstop these last 2 series. He's made some plays that were really good. Routine plays that he should make, but there was a couple plays that he made that I thought were, a little maybe out of range for him that he actually he made.
I'm not shocked. I don't think there's anything that guy can't do. He bowls 300. He dunks the basketball. I mean, he does everything.
Right.
Throws a football far. I mean, what can't the guy do? Shortstop? Why not?
He's doing good at shortstop. He's making it. I think he's doing it. Yeah. Muncy also made some really good plays at defense as well. On the Cards. I know he had a couple of errors to start the season off, but against the Giants, he looked pretty rock solid. He was throwing some guns to first base. He's got a really good arm, so I think he's fine in his stride as well.
Yeah, I don't think the offense will be an issue at all. They're going to be in every game. No lead is safe with that kind of lineup.
No, I mean, you had one of the games they brought in Ricky Vaughn. God, I can't remember his name right now. God, what is it? Joe Kelly. Bring in Joe Kelly. Mm-hmm. And in my opinion, that's one of the moves that Roberts has made so far this season where I kind of question why you left him in so long. He gave up 5 runs in that inning. He had a balk. He balked in a run, which was crazy. I'd never even seen that before, where guy hits, bases are loaded. Joe Kelly balks in the middle of his, or he balks before he pitches. The guy hits the ball to left field, catches, left fielder catches the ball. I think the opponent team had a choice to make. Either they could redo the pitch or everybody gets a free base. And they went, everybody gets a free base. I didn't know that you could do that in baseball. Yeah, I thought it was basically, if you balk, the pitch is dead no matter what happens, and then everybody gets to rotate.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that, but I've never heard or even seen anything like that.
Yeah, I was trying to watch it though at a family member's house, so the volume was down. They might have actually explained it a little bit better. I meant to go back and actually find out for myself. I feel like if Aaron was here, he would have more of a breakdown of it than I do. But it was kind of crazy. But even when I'm going back to Joe Kelly, even with the mistakes with the mistake, in my opinion, Roberts leaving Joe Kelly in the game, the Dodgers still came back and forced extra innings in that game.
Yeah.
There's no deficit I feel like they can come back from, which is, for me, being a Dodger fan is exciting. For you as a Yankee fan, I don't know if that's that exciting for you.
We're in first place, so that's all that matters.
We're both in first place. That's what's awesome. But my takeaways from both the series is the Dodgers are the real deal. They are going to live up to the hype. And this is without the bottom half of their lineup producing, the bottom third of their lineup producing. I feel Lux will come around. I feel like Outman will come around. Hayward, I hope he does because I really like him. But,
they'll all have their moments. It's a long season. 162.
The question is, how long of a leash are you going to give Lux? That's the question.
Real long, because he's not. I don't want to say he's not necessary, but you have enough hitting where he can work his way back from. I mean, he had a really major knee injury, so I would give him the whole year. If next year he's struggling, then you can look to move. But this year he's like on scholarship right now. Let him,
on a scholarship.
It's okay. He's good. No stress. Their season won't crash because he struggles. Pretty much. Okay. Now, if Ohtani or Betts or Freeman or Muncy or Smith, look how many people I just named. Like they can prop him up. He'll be all right.
Okay.
That lineup is stacked.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we kind of touched on the rotation. We talked about how many earned runs. What's the combined earned runs they gave up between the starting rotation from the Cardinals and the Giants game? Do we just get the Cardinals, or did you throw
that was the Cardinals? The Giants, they were solid. They weren't as good. The overall pitching staff, they pitched to a 3.33 ERA, still averaged about 9 Ks per 9 innings. They were pretty good.
Most runs came from Glasnow, right? Because
Yarborough had a rough outing.
Yarborough didn't start. I think that was kind of
he had a rough go. Seven hits in 4 innings, 4 runs, and Glasnow had 3 runs in his 6. So that's the bulk of the runs.
I wonder if you can count
that series.
Can you count Yarborough though? Because Yarborough didn't start that game. They did the whole piggyback.
No, this is the whole
thing.
pitching staff. Who cares about?
I'm curious about the starting rotation because I want to talk about something.
These stats are everybody.
Oh, okay. Give me the starting rotation then. Can you do that?
No. This is everybody.
You're like, no, I'm not even going to try to do that.
No. Why? You want me to go no.
No, I can figure it out. I'm pretty sure. Let me see if I remember correctly.
Glasnow's ERA was a 4.5. Paxton was a 0.
Paxton, you get 5 walks and 5 strikeouts. That's not a recipe for success.
Did they start? They had a starter.
They had a piggyback.
Brazier.
Brazier did 1 inning and then
2. He did 2. He did 2 innings, 4.5, and then
Yarborough came in.
Why did they have to do a bullpen game? They were giving Yamamoto trying to give him an extra day of rest or something?
I don't know. It's going to bring me.
That's weird.
It's going to bring me into my Walker Buehler conversation in a second. Okay. But yeah, so. End of the day,
pretty early to have a bullpen game.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I think maybe they might have done the bullpen game just because they're trying to leave space for that 6-man, which they haven't named it yet. And I think here's the thing let's just jump into Walker Buehler. So Walker Buehler is, I think he's had how many rehab starts has he had so far? Do you know that answer?
No,
Did I throw this at you? I don't know if I prepped you for this one. You might have to do some research on it. Anyways, Walker Buehler is closer than we thought to coming back and pitching for the Dodgers. So what that does now is create, another internal conversation, or not, however you want to look at it, with that 6-man rotation. Because right now, I feel
that was
like
his first on Sunday, by the way.
That was his first.
Yeah,
I thought he had 2 already. Was it just his first?
Yeah, Sunday was his first.
How did he do?
3 1/3.
Okay.
54 pitches.
Okay. Do they have a timeline set now where they expect him to come back?
Oh, let's see here. I'll keep going. I'll tell you. I'm looking up.
Well,
give me some info right now.
Here's my thing. So if you go off the 5 pitchers we just saw, which is Glass now, you had Yamamoto, Bobby Miller, Gavin Stone, and you have Paxton. Out of those 5 pitchers, we're just talking about the last 2 series. We're not even going to talk about the 2-game opener on another foreign land or whatever, because I feel like that's still that was still spring training. We're talking about
that was
now.
A season opener.
I don't count it right now. We're just counting the last 2 series right now with the Giants and the Cards. The starting rotations looks amazing, with the exception of how Paxton pitched, which is 5 walks, 5 strikeouts. But let's just say that he continues that trend being a solid. I think he's supposed to be the 4th man in the rotation, but let's just say he's 5. Let's just say he's 5 for right now as far as importance, just because he's on a 1-year deal. He's not a future Dodger. He's not locked in for multiple years. He's the least important out of the 5, right? Because you've got Bobby Miller, who the ceiling on him is extremely high. What you've seen from Gavin Stone, the ceiling for him is extremely high. You've got Glass now, which we're hoping that he has a Cy Young caliber season, and Yamamoto, we're hoping also a Cy Young caliber season. Those are your 4 guys right now. So now, if you got Walker Buehler that comes back, let's just say, do you have that idea? Did it give you enough time?
Yeah, they give you a 30-day window for minor league rehabs, and you can request a second one on top of that. So it depends on how he's going to feel, but the earliest would be 30 days.
So he could be back
Sunday,
in the beginning of May.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just say he comes back in the beginning of May, and all these pitchers kind of stay kind of where they're at right now, right? I mean, the person to get rid of, if you stick with 5-man rotation, the person you're going to get rid of is Paxton, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the way you're going to want to let Gavin Stone get as much starting pitching as he possibly can, especially if he looks as good as he's looking right now, because all you're doing is building up either a trade piece, or you're building up the future of the Dodgers, whatever the case is. But you're going to want to use Walker Buehler. So if you stick with the 5-man rotation, Paxton's out. If you go to a 6-man rotation, which I really strongly believe they're going to, which might explain why they did the bullpen game today, you just basically slot in Buehler, and now you've got your 6-man rotation. And then if anybody gets hurt, then you go back to bullpen session. Then you're waiting, because you still have another starting pitcher that's going to come up at some point. Obviously, it's not for another couple months, but he's going to come up, and you're going to have to deal with it at some point, which is Clayton Kershaw. So why not go to the 6-man rotation in a month? Max, what is your take on the 6-man rotation? Why won't you talk to me? Go.
Well, I was letting you get your. I was getting your thought out. No, I mean, I don't know why teams don't use it more often now, especially with the. I mean, I guess pitchers don't throw a lot anymore, so maybe it's the opposite.
Yeah, but they're throwing harder now. They throw harder.
They get hurt a lot.
They get hurt a lot more.
I know you need like 8 or 9 starting pitchers on average, at least, to survive 162 games, because there's a hangnail here, a Tommy John there, and you're down a couple of pitchers. You know what I mean?
No, I got you.
So they have the luxury. I could see the benefit for Yamamoto, because in Japan they're used to pitching mainly once a week rather than 5 every 5th day. So if you is it better to adjust him now and get used to 5 days, or give him a period where you do have a 6-man rotation where he does get to how long is his contract? So I don't know. Yamamoto.
Yamamoto's contract's like 10 years.
10 years. So do you force him to adjust now, or do you give him a year grace period to have where you have the 6-man rotation, you save his arm, it's a 10-year contract, It's a long time. And then you give him another spring training, and then by next year, you can go back down to your normal 5-day rotation. I mean, I'm just looking at it for the benefit of him because they've invested so much into him.
Right.
Now, and since it's a young pitching staff, they're not set in their ways. Glasnow would be the only one that maybe complains about, hey, I need to pitch every 5th day. This extra day of rest doesn't help me. But this is a guy who's had arm issues throughout his career.
Yeah.
So maybe it would be beneficial for him as well. Like if it was an older pitching staff, maybe they'll get pushbacks. You know what I mean? Like guys who are kind of set in their ways. But since it's a bunch of young guys and Glasnow who's been hurt a lot, an extra day of rest doesn't hurt. I would stick with a 6-man. I would lean towards that.
I would say
it's a long season.
The only way like a pitcher like Glasnow would actually push for a 5-man rotation is if he's trying to get an individual award.
Oh,
I mean, that's the only reason why. I mean, look, if you're trying to stay healthy, if you're trying to have a championship team, and you want to be around for that, I think the odds are better to go 6-man rotation. If you go 5-man rotation, I feel like you're trying to get it, rack up your strikeouts, you're trying to rack up your innings pitched, so that way you look better for a Cy Young award. To me, that's the only reason why. If you can come in and say you're going to add Walker Buehler to this already impressive starting rotation and make it a 6-man rotation, why would you complain about that?
I don't know if the awards thing matters in that sense, because nowadays the stock compiling, the voters don't care about that. They don't care about how many wins you have. It's more
wins.
Those,
I still think they care about strikeouts.
It's strikeouts. It's really WAR. If you look at it, whoever has the highest WAR, that's who they can give the awards to nowadays. So it's really about the value that you give when you're there. So I don't know if you're a 5-6, because last year Snell won the freaking Cy Young, and the guy never pitches past the 5th, 6th inning. So they don't care about that kind of stuff anymore. Those days are gone. So now if he has some kickers in his contract, that would be more important to a player than I gotta get more innings in for award season. And the award season, I'm telling you now, it's different than when we grew up. A 5-inning pitcher won the Cy Young last year. I don't see, them really caring about that anymore.
I feel like it was more like the lack of options than it was actually his performance.
I
mean, Webb was the runner number 2 on the Giants.
I bet you it's a war thing. I'm telling you, the way these sportscasters,
can you pull up their stats really fast?
I am.
Pull up their stats.
That's all they care about now is just like they look at that one or two numbers and then like, yeah, there you go. That's the answer. They don't do anything get past that. Yeah.
Well, I'm still pushing for the 6-man rotation, and
I think it's the way to go.
Yeah, when Buehler comes back, you're either going to see Paxton DFA'd. In my opinion, you're going to see him DFA'd, or it's going to go 6-man rotation. I don't think you mess with Gavin Stone now, unless, hey, I know Gavin Stone's only had one in. We're also talking about, once again, a very small sample size. They've only really played in 2 series, okay? Gavin Stone's only pitched in 1 of them. Paxton's only pitched in 1 of them. Yamamoto's only pitched in 1 of them. So it's kind of hard to go off of every single thing right now. I'm just talking about if everybody stays the course of what they started, then that makes the conversation really difficult. But if Paxton starts to fall off, or if Gavin Stone starts to fall off, then, it makes it a lot easier to slot in Buehler and maybe send Gavin down for a little bit to work on some stuff if he drops off that much. I don't think you can do that with Paxton, because I think that's probably not in his contract, but you could probably do that obviously you could do that with Gavin Stone.
Well, and also when Buehler comes back, he's not going to be able to log a ton of. He's going to be on an innings limit.
6-man rotation.
So that's why it all makes more sense. So last year, again, to prove my point, Logan Webb pitched 216 innings. Blake Snell 180, right?
Okay.
And so the innings is what, but the big difference is that 1-run ERA difference. Snell was a 2.25 and Webb was a 3.25, and again, WAR 6.2 versus a 5.7. What
were the strikeouts?
The strikeouts, Snell 234, 194. That's what they're going to look at, a couple of things.
Yeah, they're going to look at strikeouts.
ERA plus 182 to 130, and that's it. The innings pitches, Don't worry about that.
Okay, maybe innings pitch doesn't matter that much anymore. But you gotta.
And then look, we walked a lot. Snell walked 99 guys. Webb 31. You know, some of the stuff doesn't. You know, they don't look at everything.
I mean, that's actually impressive. He walks that many people and keeps that ERA that low.
Right.
I mean,
he gets himself out of trouble.
That's not a good recipe, but that's really impressive that he did that. Maybe people looked at that and go, "Man, he walked that many people and his ERA is that low. We got to give him the Cy Young."
And think about it. And we're talking about a guy who's pitching only 5 innings, pretty much a game, and he still got it. He gets out of it.
Yeah.
So they look at the ERA, the WAR, strikeouts, ERA plus, and keep it moving.
I was really hoping that Snow was going to pitch the last game of the series with the Giants, and just the Dodgers just rocked him.
Oh, he's not going to come back. He had to start spring training. What week is he in? When did he sign?
I think he's supposed to play in the next week or so.
Yeah, because I
honestly don't care.
They usually need about 4 to 6 weeks,
right?
To get themselves together. So.
I feel like these guys, the money that they have, and then the regimens they have to do, and then also it's not like Snell's been sitting on the couch eating bonbons, just waiting for this call to who's picking up my contract. The guy's been working out every single day, so I don't think he's that far behind.
Well, they always say throwing with them is not the same as throwing with the actual team. I don't know.
True.
I mean, they always say, because the same thing with like the hitters. Like what's the guy you guys had last year? Martinez, right? He signed with the Mets.
Oh my God,
right?
That's such a steal for the Mets.
Yeah. So you don't think the guy was training himself, but they still got to give him a little spring training ramp up. No, he's I think he's about to get assigned to one of the minor leagues for his rehab, not rehab assignment for his spring training whatever thing, and then he'll get called up probably in a week or two.
Looking at we're going to jump ship to the Mets really fast, but looking at that Mets lineup, if you slot JD Martinez in there, that's actually a pretty good lineup. You got a guy who's won the batting title. You've got a guy who smashes home runs playing first base. I mean, they have a decent offense.
Yeah.
It's shocking that they're not. Though. Yeah. They had pitching last year. And
the dinosaurs?
The dinosaurs.
No, they're in for a long season.
Yeah.
But the 6th man makes total sense to bring it full circle.
Yeah. We talk about it all the time. I hope it happens. All right, so let's preview the next series coming up.
Who's on the docket for the?
Who's on the docket?
Who's getting scraped by the Dodgers?
I knew this. My notes just crashed. They're playing the Cubs.
Oh, nice! You get to see your boy.
Get to see my boy, Cody Bellinger, swing for the fences. Nope. So
you got Bobby Miller tomorrow versus Kyle Hendricks. That's a good little matchup.
Yeah.
And Saturday got Yamamoto versus Wicks.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sunday you have Gavin Stone versus, I'm going to butcher this guy's name, Imanaga. I don't even know who that is.
Not going to work here no more. That's for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like a rough day for him.
Hey, really fast. Because we gave you our predictions for the Cardinals series.
Did we?
I think you wrote them down, didn't you?
I wouldn't have, maybe. I wrote down the season
I'm pretty sure. Okay, so I had 3 out of 4.
No,
I'm pretty sure Aaron had a sweep.
Predictions.
Oh, season predictions.
Yeah, I did season predictions.
Did I write it down?
Yeah, you probably did.
Let me see.
Series for series is not.
I didn't write it down. We got to do better next time.
I got the season predictions so far, looking pretty okay. Soto for MVP. Soto's looking good.
I think. Okay, so Soto for MVP. Shut up.
What do you? What's the problem, man?
I just can't handle. I can't handle the guy's attitude when he's on base. When he's up to bat, that swagger thing that he does. It just bugs me so much. It bugs me so much. No, but that whole that pivot foot thing that he does. You know what I'm talking about? Like
shimmy,
the shimmy hip shake.
Come on,
I don't like
stretching.
I don't like. You can stretch. You can hit a bomb home run, flip the bat around, turn around.
You prefer that?
Yeah, flip fingers off to everybody. I don't care what crap it is, but in the there's something about it in the middle of the pitch sequences and in the middle of the at bat when you do that. I don't know. It bugs me. It just bugs me. I don't know. It shouldn't, but it does.
If it was a Dodger, you wouldn't care.
I'll tell you right now.
At home,
Machado, he did a lot of things as a Dodger that made me hate him more. Because that guy.
Why do you hate that guy? He has no problems anyway.
Dude, because that guy's a dirty player. I don't like dirty players.
Dirty player.
Yeah, the whole kick in the foot, and I don't want to talk about it. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Ahead.
All right, so the Cardinals predictions, I'm pretty sure Aaron had a sweep. I had a 3 out of 4. I actually picked Muncy to be the offensive player, I believe, and I think Aaron picked Betts, which if that's the case, then he definitely won on that. Muncy did a good job, but Betts destroyed it. All right, so anyways, let's talk about this series coming up against the Cubs. Who's the pitching matchup against? Bobby Miller against who?
Kendricks.
Cubs
are 4-2.
Yeah,
They're
Cubs are pretty good. Look, this is the first real road game for the Dodgers, because once again, we're not counting the first 2 games of the season, because I don't even want to, like, it's just weird.
Should have just been an exhibition, but keep going.
I really think the Dodgers are going to come in. They're going to take 2 out of 3 against the Cubs. 3 games, right? The 3 games.
3 games.
Yeah, I think they're going to take 2 out of 3. I think my predictions are going to be Bobby Miller pitches as a solid performance. I think Yamamoto is going to struggle a little bit.
Okay.
I don't think Yamamoto is going to get the win. I think it's going to be Gavin Stone that gets the win.
Well, I'll go for Aaron, and it's going to be a sweep because the Cubs, they did beat the Rangers
right
in their 4-game stretch, but that's before they lost the first 2 games of the series, and they just swept the Rockies, which is not too impressive. So
yeah,
Dodgers going to sweep them.
You think sweep completely?
Sweep,
in Chicago.
Book it, Dano. That little bandbox of a field. How many home runs the Dodgers going to hit, man? Come on.
Ooh, that's a good one. I think the Dodgers are going to hit a total of 6 home runs in the series.
6? Might be 6 first game.
No, I think it'll be 6 total. I think Betts will have a homer. I think Yamamoto's going to have 2. We're just going to throw it all out there. Yamamoto's going to have 2. Muncy, he'll have 1. Barnes will show up, and Barnes will have. I think the series might be a little bit closer than we think. There's a lot of. I think Bellinger's going to bring his A game to kind of prove to the Dodgers that he was worth a big contract, and maybe he's trying to show something to the Dodgers, because Dodgers will be looking for outfielders next season, and I guarantee you Bellinger will be available again next season. He will opt out of his contract. At least if he has a decent season, he'll opt out.
I told you that ship has sailed. He's never coming back here.
I believe you now. I believe you now. He's not going to come back here, but I think just to prove a point, he'll show up and he'll do his stuff.
Okay, cool.
I'm really hoping that Joe Kelly sticks with the bounce back as far as pitching, because he's still looking a little shaky. But this series, 2 out of 3, Dodgers prevail. And it's going to be difficult to see the Dodgers losing a series, but I think
that's the most important thing. Like, whether you sweep or you win 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4.
Just got to win the series.
You just got to win the series, and next thing you know, you look up and you're at 90, close to 100 wins. That's all that matters. And early wins, it's like putting money away for the rainy day, because there'll be a stretch, when it's ridiculously hot and you might be sluggish.
Right.
And you stack those wins early. So
yeah, it's what my dad always said. Just got to win. You got to win the series.
That's it. That's all that matters. Yep.
All right. I think this might be one of our best condensed episodes. So far, we're close to 40 minutes.
Book it, Dano.
Book it, Dano. You want to add anything else before we start our sign off?
No. We're good.
Okay. Well, you know what? If you listen this far into the podcast, if you watch this long, then you must be a fan. So please click the thumbs up, the subscribe, and the follow buttons. Check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/rotyourbrainmedia. Help contribute to the show, help contribute to us making content, help contribute to us making, power, keeping the lights on. I don't know where I'm going. Go check out Mass Murder Machine, Aaron's latest drop for his remastered album.
Link will be in the details.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Our goal is to do 2 episodes a week. Obviously, we're only going to do 1 episode this week. We have some stuff going on, family stuff going on. Hopefully next week we'll get to that two show per week, and then we're going to try doing, coming up in the future, is doing a live stream every Sunday while we watch the Dodger game, which will be exciting because it gives us
watch the game.
We're going to watch the games live on Sundays.
Well, you guys, that's really cool. You guys are going to have like a buddy cast or something?
You were invited. You got the email.
I don't know, man.
I already talked to your wife. She said it's cool. You just come here and you watch a Dodger game, especially. That's going to be great for you because they'll be playing at the same time as the Yankees, and so you have to watch the Dodger game with us on a Sunday.
I don't know about all that.
We'll let you bounce back and forth. It'll be okay. But it'll hopefully you'll be able to hear our comments throughout the show. You guys can contribute to that. It should be a fun time. We're new to this, but with your guys' support, you'll help us grow to become something special. On that note, thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.